Let's begin.
Man, what a week. I think it's time for a nip. Oh, hey there, scary story fanatics. Welcome back to Cleaving Thought from Bone with your host, Sociopathic. Ever have one of those days where you just want it to be over, or maybe move on to the next without lingering? Ever wanted to know what's in store? Well, maybe me and my friend here can help you out with that. So get comfortable and pour yourself a tall glass of fear. I call this one 10 Shots In.
Have you ever wanted to know your future? Ever desired to change it for the better? Well, I may be able to help you with that. However, it is important that we establish a few ground rules first. You will either need to reside nearby a liquor store, a tavern or bar of any kind, and a forest, all within walking distance. I do not recommend that you drive anywhere if attempting what's to follow. If you do not live within walking distance of one of these locations, you can have a friend or someone you know do the driving for you. But they will need to leave your company early on, and must be okay with this. Also, don't eat anything all day. This will be important later. Once you have planned to accomplish all these tasks, you should be ready to begin. Please keep in mind that all shots must be at least 1.5 ounces, and must be 80 proof or higher. It must also be night, or close to night, but not so late that the liquor store you will be going to is closed. Drinking along while listening will bring you no danger or harm, but if you do desire to go through with what follows, I hope you have taken great care to detail the mentioned parameters, for each of these ground rules must be followed and cannot be altered. You have been warned. When the time is right and your arrangements made, head to your local hometown bar. If you have no bars in your town, any bar will do, provided it meets the previously mentioned stipulations. It doesn't matter the size of the bar, what day it is, or how many people are inside. Simply head in and ask the bartender for a shot of your favorite liquor. It doesn't matter if it's whiskey, scotch, bourbon, rum, tequila, vodka, gin, etc. All that matters is that it's above 80 proof, or 40% alcohol. Now, you can have as many drinks as you'd like here, and of any variety. Beer, wine, mixers, whatever. It only matters that the last drink you have before leaving is the aforementioned shot, that it is the only drink in shot form you have had, and that you tip the bartender at least $5 for their service. This is important. It should be noted here, depending on your tolerance, you may want to limit unneeded consumption of alcoholic beverages as much as you can. It is vital that you do not toss the contents of your stomach during this process. Trust me. But when you are ready to begin your journey, leave the bar. From there, you must head to your nearest liquor store. You can walk, be driven, whatever. All that matters is that it is your very next destination, and that you reach it within 10 minutes of leaving the bar, giving you 5 minutes to buy a bottle of your choosing, must be 80 proof or higher, and pull off this next task. Again, it should be noted here that you will need at least 15 fluid ounces of said alcohol for the rest of what's to follow, provided you get past this point. If they sell lighters there as well, buy one. You'll need it for what comes next. After purchasing the bottle, you must invite the clerk behind the counter to do a shot with you. They can step away and go outside, into the back room, it doesn't matter. Only that both you and the clerk must drink at least 1.5 ounces of whatever you just bought within 15 minutes of having consumed your shot at the bar. If you happen to be friends with a liquor store clerk, this will make this part easier, as this event can be prearranged. However this is accomplished does not matter. Thank the clerk and leave the store with what's left of your bottle, and head into the woods. From here on out, you must be alone. So, if you have had company or a ride, they must leave you at the tree line. Again, this is a spot that would be best that you scout out ahead of time, and possibly even stock with firewood, because you have 15 minutes to get into the forest to your spot of choice and start a small fire. It does not need to be a raging fire. The smallest of flames will do to start. Once your fire has been made, take another shot from your bottle. Now, over the course of the next 30 minutes, start to make your fire as large, bright, and hot as you can safely make one. Make sure to feed it consistently over the next 30 minutes, taking 2 more shots at each 15-minute mark. Considering that you have now consumed at least 5 alcoholic beverages in a period of a little over an hour, you may be feeling the slight onset of inebriation. So, when you think you hear music playing in the distance of the forest, or people talking, you may be quick to chalk this up to the alcohol that you have consumed. Don't. Instead, take your bottle with you and head into the direction of the sound. Its source is your next step. As you draw closer to the noise, it may sound more like some kind of party currently underway that you are encroaching on. Eventually, within 15 minutes of your last shot, you will be so close to the sound that you will insist that it is emanating from someplace right in front of you, yet does not exist. Once you believe you have found the right place, close your eyes and take another shot. When you open your eyes, turn around where you stand. There's a good chance that when you land sight on the structure, you will find yourself in a state of bewilderment. In front of you, there will be a 1-story building with neon lights in the windows and loud music coming from within. You will soon recognize it as a tavern or a bar, but one that has no business being in the middle of a forest where there are no roads, no parking lot, and supposedly no traffic. But nevertheless, there it will be. Approach the front door, and you will be greeted by the large gentleman standing outside. He is the bar's bouncer, and will demand to see your ID. Do not show him your ID. This is the equivalent of an invite of your own, one you do not want to extend. Instead, offer him a shot from your bottle. Again, be prompt, don't waste time, and make sure your slug is healthy. The shot, once again, must be 1.5 ounces in volume, and must be imbibed within that 15-minute mark. After this is done, the bouncer will thank you and step aside, allowing you access to the front door. Take his invite and enter the bar. Upon entering, you will undoubtedly take note of how lively and packed the establishment is. The music that you heard is now understood to be coming from a live band. Behind the bar, you'll see a tall man with a thick mustache and a white shirt. Do not order a drink from him, for even if you try, he will simply ignore you. Instead, take notice of the other patrons all sitting on stools at the bar. Among them, there will be a very attractive female or male, depending on your preference, and you must sit on the open stool next to them. After doing so, turn to them and offer them a drink from your bottle. Do not waste time, as you must be prompt here as well, and when the other person agrees, allow them to take a shot before you take one yourself. No sooner than you gulp down the liquid, and what is now your 8th shot, a man will approach you from behind and begin to pick a fight with you for giving a drink to what he explains is his significant other. Do not waste time or allow him to make any further gestures. Immediately offer him a shot as well. He will act as if he's going to slam the rest of your bottle, but he won't. He will take no more than 1.5 ounces from the bottle. After he does, it's time for you to once again do the same. Again, even if it's only been 1 minute since your last shot, you must do another with this man immediately. The man will say nothing to you, only grab the guy or girl by the hand and lead them from their stool and across the bar, away from you. Looking back, you will notice the bartender immediately turn for the back room behind the counter. Do not get up, do not use the bathroom, and do not lose focus on the task at hand. You must wait another 5 minutes, which will coincidentally be the length of the song being performed by the band on the small corner stage. Once it is ended and the 5 minutes are up, the bartender will re-emerge from the back room behind the bar and proceed to look directly at you. Talk to him, for he will take you to your final step. The bartender will ask you to come around the side of the bar, to get behind it and join him on the other side. Do as he asks and walk around behind the bar. Upon doing so, the bartender will simply turn once again, heading for the back room, not saying a word to you. Follow him. Upon entering this small room, you will see it is actually a simple access door to stairs leading downward. The bartender will not lead you down them, only point down into them, indicating you are to proceed down there without him. Walk past him and descend the stairs. Do not look behind you. Keep your stare focused before you, and when you touch the bottom with your first foot, you will hear the door slam behind you. Pay this no mind and proceed into the center of the small, dirty, poorly lit room before you. You will see an empty wooden chair. Sit in it. You will sit and wait for a few minutes, but it will feel much longer. You should still have your bottle with you, but at this point, do not drink from it. If he finds out, he will see it as an insult, and your swift death is sure to follow. Instead, set the bottle on the floor next to you, and wait for someone to emerge from the one and only door in this sublevel, residing right in front of your chair. Once the door opens, you will see a tall and strange-looking figure step through. His hair will be long and dark brown in color, his face mostly obstructed by thick facial hair, and his thin frame will be wrapped in some sort of white, ceremonial robe or ornate-looking sheet, almost like a toga. This man won't say anything, only approach you before stopping a few feet from you and looking upon you with a warm smile. At this point, lift your bottle from the ground and offer the man a drink. He will smirk and turn leftward, away from you. This is him declining your offer. Simply set the bottle back on the floor beside you and leave it there. You will not need it anymore. Within moments, the man will turn back toward you, having meddled with something on a dirty shelf nearby. Clutched in his hand will be a simple shot glass, but filled with a psionic fluid that seems to radiate some sort of unexplainable perfection. He will extend the glass toward you, to which you must take it respectfully, thanking him for his hospitality and immediately tossing back the contents of the glass. Provided you have made it to this point at all, you have to have met most of his requirements. Though if you haven't, this is where the consequences of your mistakes will surface. Upon drinking the shot, you will notice that, although very alcoholic, the taste is more than decadent. It's preferable. You undoubtedly mark whatever this is as the best tasting drink you have ever had, and likely ever will. Providing all has gone according to plan, the room will shift and change, as if you're entering an unexpected dream or nightmare. But you will soon find yourself looking at a future version of you. You will be happy, successful, and have gained all from life that you have desired, and now you have the satisfaction of not only securing your most optimal future, but you have seen it as well. You will see experiences of years play out within moments. You will see loved ones, both old and young, simultaneously, and get to know their entire lives before some have had a chance to begin. The sights and wonders that will come to pass are as personal to you as they are fleeting and varied, as they are now solid in your mind. When you open your eyes again, you will be back in your bed, as if nothing ever happened at all, as if the entire thing was simply a dream. Be happy with all you have been awarded, however, and consider yourself lucky. Many have tried, but not all have succeeded. For instance, if you failed to consume the proper amount of alcohol, the ritual simply will not work. If you refuse the attractive individual at the bar or their boyfriend, you won't be able to abscond or continue until you do. This means that if you spill your bottle, or either of those two leave the bar before you can share your alcohol, or if you go beyond the 15-minute mark at this point, you will be trapped at the bar, in a realm between realms, for all of eternity. In fact, this will be your fate if you vomit once inside the bar, or if you do happen to show the bouncer your ID as well, almost as if you handed him your soul instead. Again, if you vomit before entering, the ritual simply will not work. If you look behind you at the bartender while descending the stairs into the basement, you will not see him at the door. Instead, you will see your own violent and painful death play out before your eyes, and it will be a fate you cannot ignore. And last but not least, if you do not tip your bartender in the beginning of your journey, the ambrosia-like alcohol, your 10th shot in, will not award you with a blessed future. Instead, you will remain in a place between places, in a limbo outside of limbo itself, forced to relive one painful death after another, over and over again, undying, for all eternity. It is believed that this is due to the first bartender acting as a symbolic ferryman of sorts. Pay him for his troubles, and your journey will be guarded. Don't, and your soul will be cast aside as unwanted refuse without remorse. I can't tell you if any of this is worth it or not. Only you can make that decision for yourself. I can only hope that you make the right ones. That being said, I've worked up quite a thirst. Anyone want a drink?
Well, I suppose if you're not careful, the bar life can really take hold, especially if you're stuck there forever. Gives a whole new meaning to the term eternal hangover. But if your head is done swimming by next weekend, make sure to drop by waist deep in the 13 days of Halloween. But until then, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications so I can catch you all again next Saturday.